Good morning, students. Welcome back to English 2 class, and today we will start chapter number 8, the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear. This poem is written by Rabindranath Tagore. Now let us study about the poet, that is Rabindranath Tagore was born on 7th May 1861 and died on 7th August 1941. Okay, so Rabindranath Tagore was born on 7th May 1861 and died on 7th August 1941. He was a writer, educator, social reformist. Rabindranath Tagore left behind a wide range of literature including poems, prose, plays, songs and dance dramas. So Rabindranath Tagore was not only a writer, he was an educator, he was social reformist, he was painter, okay, and he left behind a wide range of literature. He used to write poems, prose, plays, songs, dance dramas, okay. Now the present poem was originally written in Bangla. So this poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear, is originally written in Bengali and it is translated into English, and it was renamed as Where the Mind is Without Fear. Okay, it was translated in English by Tagore himself. He was awarded with the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his book Gitanjali. Now, Rabindranath Tagore, this poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear, it was originally written in Bengali. He himself translated this poem into English and he was awarded with Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his book Gitanjali. He had written a book Gitanjali and he was awarded with Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for writing the book Gitanjali. Okay. Now Rabindranath Tagore embarked on his career, means began his career as a painter in his 60s. Nevertheless, he produced thousands of works and was the first Indian artist to exhibit his works across Europe, Russia, and the United States in 1930. So he began his career as a painter. Okay. Now question may come, you have to write about the poet. Okay, so you may write about Rabindranath Tagore from here. Whatever is given here you will learn it. Besides, you will add that he was born on 7th May 1861 and died on 7th August 1941. Okay, let us see the meanings. Fragments means pieces, tireless means strong, intense, striving means struggling, dreary means dull and desolate, ever widening means unending and constant. Now let us move on to the poem. So this poem, when Tagore wrote this poem, that time India was under British rule. Tagore lived during the time when India was ruled by the British. Okay, and this poem is a prayer. Okay, he is praying to God. So, where the mind is without fear is set in India of the poet's dreams. Okay, in this poem, the poet hopes that India hopes about India, that it will be how India will be created after its independence from British rule. This is the India that he hopes will be created after its independence from British rule. So, what he imagines, what he dreams about India after independence, let us see. It is written here, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free. So, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. What these lines mean? So, this line means that the poet is imagining his country, that his countrymen should live without fear on their mind. Okay, at all the times. Instead, they should hold their heads up fearlessly and have confidence in themselves. Okay, he says that no countryman of his should live with fear in on his mind at all the times. Instead, they should hold their heads up fearlessly and have confidence in themselves. Okay, and it is written that where knowledge is free, knowledge should be available to all the citizens. Okay, that is, educational institutes should admit students of all races and classes. All the various regions of India and their people should be united instead of fighting amongst themselves for supremacy. Okay, so here it is given that where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Fragments means we have already seen here pieces. So the world should not be broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Okay, narrow domestic walls means that the world should not be broken up by on the basis of religion, caste, class, color in the societies. Okay, and between the countries in the world. So the division should not be on the basis of religion, caste, class and color in societies and between the countries of the world. Okay, so the world should not be broken up by these narrow domestic walls. What are the domestic walls? Caste, religion, class, color. Okay, so where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection. So here tireless striving means, let us see, means strong and intense, or you can say continuous efforts and struggle. Okay, so here in these lines we will see that all the various regions of India and their people should be united instead of fighting amongst themselves for supremacy. They should fight together against a common enemy to determine their common fate. So the poet says that in India of his dreams, everyone should speak truth. Okay, they should speak truth and no person should lie for his own advantage. Every man should make an effort to improve himself and keep trying till he reaches a stage of self perfection. Till a person reaches perfection, he should keep trying to improve himself. Okay, till he reaches the stage of perfection. Tireless striving means, as I said, continuous efforts and struggle, and in your book it is given strong and intense. So a person should always work hard, okay, and keep trying to improve himself to reach self perfection. Okay, where the clear stream of reason was has not lost its way, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habits. Okay, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action. So here dreary means dull and desolate. Dreary means dull and desolate. Okay, ever widening means unending and constant. Striving means struggling. Ever widening means unending and constant. Okay, so here thee means you. Okay, thee means you. Thee is not given. Thee means you. So in these lines, the poet is saying that he is imagining that the reason to be an unsullied stream of water through which one can progress easily without encountering too many obstacles. On the other hand, he imagines habit to be a desert. The stream of reason seems to him to be lost in the sands of habit. So, people's dead habit. Dead habit here means what? their superstitions. Okay, suppose people says that girls should not get education, they should live in home. These are the dead habits. Okay, there are few superstitions, few habits which are dead. Okay, so people should reason. Okay, people should reason and should not get lost uh, in desert here means that the stream of reason seems to be lost in the sands of habit. So you should reason why. Okay, and not simply believe in superstitions. Okay, without believing in the superstitions you should have clear stream of reason, and you should not get lost into that dreary desert. Dreary here means dull and desolate desert, into sands of dead habit. Dead habits here I already said that meaning superstitions or old traditional rituals and customs that are harmful. So we should not get lost in these superstitions, in the traditional customs and rituals that are harmful for the society. We should have the clear stream of reason. Okay, where the mind is led forward by the into over ever widening thought and action. So, in these lines, the poet speaks directly to God. He wants his countrymen to be led by him so that they broaden the horizon of both their thoughts and their actions. Okay, if they were to do so, then India would be transformed into heaven, a heaven where all the citizens would be truly free. Okay, so here the poet Rabindranath Tagore, he is directly speaking to God, and he is asking to God to make his countrymen, or he wants his countrymen to be led by him. Okay, so that they may broaden their horizon of both their thoughts and their action. Okay, because they are believing in superstitions, so they should broaden their horizon both in their thoughts and action. And into that heaven of freedom my father let my country awake, make my country awake into that heaven of freedom means people should be truly free. Okay, so here the poet is dreaming of the world or of India when India would be free, and what is the true freedom, that people should not believe in the superstitions. They should be truly free from their minds by broadening their thoughts and action. They should not believe in the age old traditions and rituals and customs. Okay, they should believe in good thoughts. Okay, so then only they can get truly freedom. Okay, they should respect others. Okay, and they should believe in themselves, then only they can get freedom. The work they should do for human welfare, then only they can widen the thoughts. Okay, Tagore, thus we can say that Tagore wants spiritual, intellectual and political freedom for his country. Not only the political freedom from British rule, but also he wanted his countrymen to be spiritually and intellectually free. Okay, so what we have seen in this poem, that this poem was written when India was under the British rule. So he wanted his countrymen to get freedom from the hands of the external rulers, that is the Britishers. But the poet felt that mere political freedom was not so important if his countrymen were not good and virtuous enough to enjoy that freedom fully. So that is why he prayed to God to make his country a place where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. Moreover, people should be knowledgeable, rational, truthful, hardworking, and broad minded to make his nation achieve true freedom, a kind of spiritual freedom. This is the theme of the poem. Okay, that the people after freedom should be knowledgeable, rational, truthful, hardworking, and broad minded to make his nation achieve true freedom, a kind of spiritual freedom rather than sticking to the age old traditional rituals and customs, superstitions. Okay, so students, here we end our class. In the next video, I will discuss the question answers. I hope you all have understood the poem. So, till then, take care. Bye and thank you, children.